Hey y'all. Welcome to another Super Metroid Map Rando Multicategory tournament race between Nevdi and Zeb316. Got a pretty fun match. Top 8, if I'm not mistaken. I am Derp, joined by Nitro. How you doing today, Nitro?
I'm doing great, thank you, Derp. Very excited for this match. Two of the best map rando players, two of the best rando players even, you could say. They have a long and storied rivalry between each other, two good friends as well. This will be a really exciting match.
Yeah, I know they were both on the same team back in Randomizer League, Season 3 and Season 4. I don't know if they were super close before then, but they have definitely been at it for a while. But our Game 1 mode looks to be Double Suit. Of course, the bans were Nevdi banning... let me double check. One of them banned No Objectives, one of them banned Metroids, which... not shocking, obviously, but... that means we've got a lot of suit modes up on the docket.
For sure, we are starting here in Wreck Ship. Not much we can do yet. Zeb will get to the item first, though looking like a pretty linear start so far.
This item was just an E-Tank. Nice to have, but not going to get us anywhere, so we got to go down and left where Nevdi was checking out. Didn't want to go through those green pirates before checking all the other options, though.
We did start in the top of Climb Supers, which means there is an item there that will most likely be coming back for as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one not being able to get that without the morph ball, and you're really hoping the morph just showed up early. Like if it had showed up there at Precious Room, you're very happy, but unfortunately, looks like we've got some more branching paths to go down to find that morph ball.
Yeah, now that we've fallen down from Everest, that item is becoming further away. Zeb going for the somewhat risky grab, but does nail it and get out with the extra E-Tank. Will Nevdi go for it? No.
Also
probably wise decision.
The baby Metroid room. Not going to go through that this early on, especially since it's not even towards the map.
Nevdi now saying that the map looks like it could be pretty close.
Yeah, this kind of looking like what a lot of people don't like about this mode is that it can be very open very early because double suits just allows you to go through so many rooms. So luckily the runners are doing basically the same things. That's interesting.
Yeah. 4 majors, 6 majors even, and just one zone connection, which is really nice to see. So hopefully we'll be able to clear everything out and then never come back here.
Yeah, I suspect that... well, I was going to say, I suspect both runners are going to try to get that major at the top of Everest out of logic. It looked like they could get it, right?
It did look... I believe, yeah, it should have been accessible. It is out of logic, of course, so leaving it makes perfect sense if you're going to come back anyway.
Right.
I think I might have gone for it, yeah. It is a hard grab jump. Like, you really don't want to get into the situation where you're messing up the grab jump more than once. So just not even attempting it seems fine to me as well.
It's fine. I'm just worried about the possibility, and we actually see it right there with that high jump. The possibility that that major is morph, and so getting that early would have skipped a logic step. It's not too bad of a backtrack because the high jump was just on path for both of them, but like if there had been more branching paths in this Norfair, which there kind of was, and both runners just ended up doing the same things, but it could have been a world where one person just goes the opposite direction, doesn't get that high jump for a while, and then the other just has everything from Wreck Ship way earlier.
Yeah, Will... Nevdi not checking the down door. Neither of them gonna check it now. Just gonna follow the logic for now.
Much easier grab jump with that high jump. I believe it's a 2-frame window without high jump.
I believe that's correct. It might depend on what setup you go for. I think the running setup might be like a little more lenient. I'm not sure. It's very difficult regardless. Very easy to mess up.
Right. I expect this to be more. It is
Speed.
not though.
Interesting. That does make getting back up Everest a lot simpler.
I think what this logic is there was a major at the top of early supers, so that's probably our morph, and our
Of
speed gets
course.
us across.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably morph, and I didn't see. Did we have any ammo packs available anywhere? Because this is a tank, and
There's an X available once you get morph.
yes, back in Everest, because they will need missiles to go up past where they started.
Right. It looked like they needed a super missile for the top left door in the Croc Farm, which is the entrance.
That is true as well.
I've got a great look at the map. Are there more majors like at the top?
There
right
was
area?
several majors up top. At least one of them was bomb locked. It was in back of PB's in jail. You can see, and then there is at least one more major all the way at the top of the map that Zeb didn't scroll up to there. I assume they both saw it the first time. I'm not sure what they needed to get it. I think if I'm trying to remember, I think it was also bomb locked. Which it's not exactly looking like we're going to get power bombs. There is one X you can get. Hopefully it's power bombs. It would be quite awkward if they don't get power bombs up here. Then you'd be leaving that major behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what order Nevdi does things. It looks like there was one kind of top left, and then two more top right, with the one that was bomb locked, like you said. There also could be an X hiding at the Green Pirate shaft behind the E-tank.
That's very true.
I may have checked this X here in Mission Impossible. So if it is a power bomb, you can get out.
Yeah, you. Oh man, that is interesting.
Okay, Nevdi's gonna check
checking it from below is wise. Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, so whatever our logical power bomb is, we're going to be skipping it because there's one right here.
It's also possible one of these majors that they can get is just bombs, which would let this be the logical one.
That is true. I'd say it's pretty likely, honestly.
Yeah.
It seems like the logic wants us to be here, get all these majors.
It does seem right. I wonder why either of them didn't go for the right major. Maybe you couldn't get to it so easily? Or is it... No, it's just right here. I'm not sure. It probably...
Well, it was missile locked before.
Right. And it is just bombs, so... It is what they were supposed to do. And getting the power bombs first before coming over here... Well, I guess it doesn't matter that much since you get bombs anyway, but...
It's just a little time save.
Oh, it works out. Yep. Both pretty much tied up. It's a pretty straightforward early game, but we are already nearly 8 minutes in, and they are essentially perfectly even.
Yeah, of course. Both of these runners have spent a lot of time with each other. I do think they play very similarly, so it's not too surprising that they're both in sync so far. We'll see. I assume both of them go for the far major as well, up the elevator. Not actually that far.
Yeah, you've got two majors up there as well. Just gonna clean it all up. I believe so. There's one on the right and one on the left.
Okay.
I believe.
Well, Nevdi opening that door makes me... kind of confirms that, I should say.
Charge, wow. Charge, both suits, and speed already. Could be pretty lightning quick. Only one way to go after this area. You're going into Norfair. There's really no decision to be made.
Guess I was gonna say maybe you want to be a little bit more careful with the supers, but I guess you can take Mickey Mouse back down, so it's actually not too bad. You get a new tank for your troubles, even. But our
Spring
last
Ball.
meters here, Spring Ball, and another Power Bomb
Power
back.
Bomb.
Not super necessary with Spring Ball and bombs, but you're not going to say no to it, obviously.
Now they will both be making their way back towards Norfair. Don't believe there was anything else of note in Wreck Ship. We'll be leaving it behind forever. And I will say, there being how many 6 majors, I think, in Wreck Ship of all zones, that's quite telling for the rest of the seed. It's going to be pretty sparse in a lot of these zones. So there is potential for big, area divergence, go one way. Especially with all the items already, like, you're not going to be getting much value if you go to an area and there's no boss there. So the routing will be very important going forward.
Yeah, and if they do decide to go for majors, it's actually a bit of an awkward kind of 50-50, because if they get another beam, it's very good. Not needing to worry about X's having a solid amount of damage for Ridley and Motherbrain, but if they aren't able to find more beams, like if they go for a far major and it's like a X-ray grapple, even like screw attack at this point,
Yeah.
and it is really not worth the investment. So runners do have to decide how worth those majors are if they find them on the map.
Very true. For now, yeah, if they're close, value's still pretty good. Ice, space, and plasma, but it'll be that is a very far Norfair map as well. Wow.
Yeah, Nevdi pulled a little bit ahead. I think some of it was just a little bit cleaner movement, but also going for that left major instead of the right major let him take the Mickey Mouse back down instead of Zeb having to do the gate glitch to get to the other major, because he did the right one first.
Wow, a blind space jump in Norfair.
Oh, that works, I suppose.
Really nice to find. Hopefully Zeb goes that way as well. Doesn't seem like he will. Which is unfortunate for him.
Well, this dead end is good news for Zeb. He's going to push him down. The map is still down and left, right?
I believe so. It was way off to the left. So it is most likely going to be down. And we're in Meridia now. The map also off to the left, interestingly.
Fairly likely there's another Meridia portal somewhere below, perhaps.
Perhaps. I might interpret that as...
Zeb still checking out away from the map, though.
Yeah, it is quite interesting. Was there something up here he wanted to return to, perhaps?
I don't think so. They got dead-ended at a Metroid room.
That's right.
So I don't really know.
Well, it is a long hallway to the left, so maybe it could be the way. Though Nevdi's path is looking pretty good for now.
Definitely more beneficial item-wise. I guess Zeb is thinking, yeah, but he needs to go left first and then down. Whereas Nevdi trying to taking the bottom left path in whatever room he's in so far.
Yeah, I guess it's not too unreasonable for Zeb to think that Main Street won't keep going left. It's not the case, though, of course, unfortunately.
I think Nevdi's checking for a save here, by the way. Unfortunately, not really.
That would make sense.
There's one.
There's his save.
That's actually a pretty big deal, depending on how the rest of this path to the map turns out. Zeb also finding a nice room blind. Not the best items, though. We did have a raid earlier from Tillymorph. Shoutouts to everyone coming in from that. Welcome into the stream.
Uh-oh. Nevdi is getting a little bit dead-ended. Not quite a dead end, but feels like one.
Yeah, this is interesting. Zeb also finds Ridley. Does not want to take that fight on the current equipment. It is a pretty long fight with just charge wave and not a lot of ammo to back it up.
Yeah, ideally we'll want to save that for later. It's likely it's pretty central in Norfair. It's likely it won't be difficult to get back to. And we're in Meridia again.
Yeah, as expected, there
as
is another
expected, yeah.
portal on the left.
And Nevdi is leaving Norfair for Meridia, which is a fair decision because he has that save in Norfair that if and when Meridia dead ends, he can revert back to Norfair.
Zeb found his way into Main Street from the other way, from the top. That's kind of funny.
That is nice. He is still down the space jump, though, unfortunately, which is a pretty big deal in this seed. With how much zones there are left to traverse, the longer Nevdi has space jump and Zeb doesn't, is just more time that is just going to continue to be built on Nevdi's lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Zeb is headed towards that Norfair map. It was kind of this way through the reverse amphitheater. It's like a couple tiles down from here, I think. But this looks to be the path. Potentially. We've seen some trolley maps in this tournament.
Nevdi back in his home inside the Vile Plume.
Classic. Yeah, the map's right here. We'll see if this is Fantoon, though. It's a pretty
Could
common
be.
Fantoon spot.
And it is.
That could actually be really awkward if Fantoon isn't this bottom right door. Zeb doesn't actually have a way to check the top because he came in through the bottom of Edicoon's and he doesn't have ice cream.
Oh.
So this
And
Fantoon
it
being
is
here is actually
Fantoon. That
kind of a
is
bailout.
very fortunate, yes. As Nevdi gets to Meridian map, this looks like it's kind of impossible to tell on Nevdi's capture. I think that was water map though. And we see Mother Brain and a very far major. And as expected, this Norfair save is coming in clutch for Nevdi.
See if Zeb can pull off these X factors. The old route strat on Fantoon. I expect Nevdi to do this as well. He's a big fan of doing these X factors. Of course, Zeb actually didn't end up doing it, so.
Right.
We'll see.
Hopefully mid here for Zeb to clean this up. And it was a good fight.
I think that was 3 mids. Not too bad. Nevdi's also going to go through the same roller coaster of emotions here, finding the Fantoon map with no way up to the top and then hitting the Fantoon at the bottom. He's not too far behind with that space jump and with more map knowledge. Having that Meridia map knows that that's where the game ends. Whereas there's a pretty good chance that that's where Zeb goes from here.
Most likely. Seeing the major he didn't get, probably not feeling great about it. We see Brinstar and Criteria as well.
It's a major we could come back for at the top of West Ocean. It's a little bit awkward. We have to go all the way out and all the way back in. But
you can probably just peek it here, and
yeah,
if it's ice, nope.
Yeah, you're not gonna go for that one.
Not worth. You might consider it if it's ice or plasma, especially with Ridley here and not knowing Mother Brain yet for Zeb. You'd probably be fairly enticed to go for a plasma or ice if it was there. But with Screw, not gonna think about it. It's just too far.
There was that X Factor on Fantoon from Nevdi, like I was hyping up. Of course, he's getting a slow with a reappear, so it's going to be as fast of a fight as Zeb had anyways, even with a 2-round.
A bit of minor, maybe perhaps major Fantoon shambles, but it's okay.
It's getting bigger. Okay, Zeb is going down to Meridia, it looks like, so a bit unfortunate. He's just going to be retracing the steps that Nevdi has already been down while Nevdi's going to be moving on to new areas.
We will take the save. Yeah, potentially could be worth it even in Zeb's situation if they're able to avoid the last area. It could pay off for Zeb, but definitely would have liked to been able to avoid it at this point, but it is far too close for that to be a worthwhile decision. Whereas for Nevdi, it will be pretty straightforward to just head straight to the classic criteria top left of Aqueduct.
Yep. Only happens 85% of the time, according to chat. I think that's what might be lowballing it.
Yeah, I was about to say that might not be an exaggeration.
Yeah, the other nice thing, Nevdi is seeing that Ridley, he knows that he has to go back into Norfair to get down to Motherbrain and Meridia, so doesn't need to worry about that fight at all. Can just leave it until he's got better equipment, but doesn't need to find that better equipment. Ideally.
That is true. It's this is the situation you love to see. Already having Motherbrain and Ridley knowledge, you can just press onwards full speed and not really have to think about it too much, which is great when you're playing these.
He's gonna get this reserve here, I think that's what it was.
Zeb will take the reset, of course, and now with equivalent knowledge at this point, we can see just how far ahead Nevdi is, and it's not an irrecoverable lead by any means. Zeb is not too far behind.
Yeah, of course, as you were mentioning earlier, Nevdi still has that item advantage with the space.
Of course.
Jump, which isn't the biggest item advantage that it could be. Like something like Plasma, I think, would be really impactful with this current state of play.
Yeah, with all the other movement items, it's a little bit lessened than if it were like just space jump, for example.
Right.
But yeah, even still, Zeb is going to need a big swing somewhere, because with the movement advantage, Nevdi will only get further ahead, most likely.
It's like they are doing pretty much the same things so far, though. Both runners going into criteria here. So what's the closest area to check, so it makes sense. Yeah, Zeb technically only a room behind at the moment. It is very doable still. Especially if Nevdi messes up the skate glitch 5 times and has to reset.
Oh, down to 0!
Would have also had to reset then.
Super bailout for Nevdi. The luck on this guy, as always.
Many have said this.
Can Zeb get this gate glitch? Only 5 is always very stressful. Maybe not for you, Derp. But not for Zeb either. Nails it. Second try.
He's laughing at the green door as well. That was a mean trick from the seed. But both runners able to overcome.
Potentially close major, worth checking.
They can get it with the
Torian. So there is a decision to be made here. You could choose to skip this Torian in favor of the Brinstar. I don't expect either of them would do that. I am a little surprised. Nevdi not even checking the major. If that is Plasma, that would be quite good. So I'm a little surprised to not look at it.
It looks like Zeb is going to check it. You probably keep Plasma Ice. I would reset Spazer here, I think.
I would be inclined to agree. Ice.
Pretty good.
Yeah, still worth keeping. I didn't catch if Motherbrain was speed Zeb skippable or not.
I also didn't, unfortunately.
Perhaps someone in chat remembers.
It might depend on exactly which room. Looks like it's a fairly close Turian map. Or did I make that up?
I think it was far up. I don't remember how far or not it was. But it was up Red Tower, so he's probably already close.
I did spend a lot of time getting out of Plasma. Missed a couple of the sparks to kill some of the top pirates.
Yeah, that strat is certainly not fast. and having to walk it back as well, whereas Nevdi just insta-reset and was in Torian immediately.
We'll see if the Ice Beam makes up enough difference for that to be worth it.
We are still going up here in Torian.
There could be an Ice Clip still. I don't think we've seen Pants Room.
Potentially. Oh, dead end for Nevdi. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. He actually went up the tube and passed the map, so
Interesting.
it's a little bit awkward.
Oh wow, this is a long dead end for Nevdi. If Zeb can avoid this, that would be really good.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be able to though. This is
Oh, what
really
is this
weird
map? It's a really long dead end. Ah,
That's
I
starting to make
see.
sense. I think the map is just here, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, very possible that Zeb blinds into that. Doesn't go up the tube like Nevdi did. And
that is
him up.
both
It's a lot of
bosses.
though. And
Right there.
actually, that's really not a close major at all. I was gonna say it connects to the bosses, but it does not at all.
Yeah, and a B connection we don't care about, which is good that they both did get the Meridian Knowledge already. We'll be able to avoid that Brinstar. Though, man, Nevdi not checking the majors is not doing him many favors now. He's still just on charge wave and only 5 supers. He
He
might
actually
be
reset out
inclined.
of that super he got at the
Wow.
crate closet. Not crate closet, but the other crate room with an item.
Yeah, another reason that walking those items back was potentially the correct decision, even though it was a little slower in the moment. We might see Nevdi be inclined to check the somewhat far major in this area on his way out. If he's not...
Probably would. Although,
Yeah.
I don't know.
In this situation, I might have liked just actually resetting to the ship and checking the major on the way up. It could be a little slow, but the reward on Plasma being there is pretty good, because you also don't have grapple. You have speed to make Dragon okay if you don't mess it up. But
It's a little bit awkward. You actually have to backtrack back
oh
out
yes,
and go back because you don't want to go through GT.
yeah.
Not super,
Looking at it now, I think my idea is not great, because you actually have to come this way to get to the bosses. So it is a long way back.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's a huge difference between checking the Turian item on the way up versus the way back. Probably
Yeah.
just worse to reset if I had to guess. Yeah, Zeb, a boss behind with that ice beam though. I wonder if with the ice, Zeb is more inclined to just go, and with the extra super pack that Nevdi doesn't have, where Zeb feels a little bit more pressure to try to find an item.
I would agree. I think Zeb will just go. I don't foresee him checking anything else. With full knowledge, and like while the Ridley fight could be better, it's not guaranteed to be much better. If you go out of your way for any more items. If there's a close X on the way, they'll probably both grab it. I didn't see if there was one though.
Here for Nevdi. Any percent fight round 2. Hopefully this one goes better than the Phantoon did for him. Looked like a good opening, but I don't really know with the Rain Dance setup what a good opening looks like. Not quite. Nevdi's just gonna finish the fight with ammo. Doesn't want to risk chain damage. Barking at
Having-
while she's low.
Having all those extra missiles being handy there.
Yeah.
So now it really at this point, so Nevdi's not getting ice, that is for sure. So at this point it really might come down to, is Mother Brain Speed Zeb skippable? And or is there a close refill?
Yeah, I guess if it's not, Nevdi's ammo is so low, he actually just has to refill. So
Yeah,
this ice could save so much time.
Resetting that super is really not looking great for Nevdi right now. Only 5 supers is really struggles when you don't have ice.
I mean, even if you have ice, having only 5 supers isn't really a comfortable position to be. Like, it's enough, but it's not comfortable.
Zeb really needs the clean fight here. Just
Not going for the X Factor, it's just going to go for a 3 spark, potentially. Those first two
looks very good, yeah.
Both owners kind of getting trolled with these swoops, though.
Not quite finished.
I should
probably ammo this down. Yeah. Yeah, only 4 missiles.
Looks like Nevdi is going for this farther major, by the way.
Makes sense. It is extremely... Well, it is Plasma or Spazer, we know. Could be both, even.
Well, it could be Grappler X-Ray. Right?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And it is.
Grapple. Worst case scenario for Nevdi. Just about there.
Power bomb, the least useful secondary item, pretty much. So if Zeb skips that, they are very close to each other, with Zeb having the damage advantage and that ice beam. There's an X right here, though, and with how many power bombs we have, this is very likely to be a super.
Wow, another power bomb for Nevdi. Oh no.
That's brutal.
Man, not checking those items. It was a decision Nevdi made very quickly, so I don't fault him for it. But, I mean, it's not over. It's certainly not over. But this is going to be a very long Ridley and Mother Brain for Nevdi.
Yeah, I mean, it's still possible that Zeb also goes for that major. Which, in that case, it's time neutral. But no, Zeb's skipping it, so we are synced up. Nevdi's still checking items. He's still trying to find
this is... Zeb is now ahead with a better loadout. A significantly better loadout at that.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has to be like a double super at this point for Nevdi.
A super.
His one. I mean, thank goodness at this point with how many power bombs we ran into. But Zeb he's just going. Got a pretty sizable lead. Gonna be entering this Ridley fight probably close to over a minute ahead. I was gonna say a minute and a half, but yeah, probably not.
Enters at 35 with ice advantage.
Ice advantage. If Nevdi takes this refill, they'll have more missiles on hand. There's another X. It's not too bad though. That was a really cool strat, by the way.
I wonder if there's more X's, if he can like go down a sandpit here or something. If he might be thinking about.
It looked like the double sandpit was an E-tank, so it's possible that's hiding a super, but it's a bit of a risk.
Yeah, at this point it seems like it's getting a little bit out of reach here.
Potentially. This Ridley fight's not going great for Zeb, though.
We have seen Zeb struggle with Ridley a little bit in recent memory.
Yeah, it should be fine, but it is taking a minute.
Nevdi with the X Factors. With clean X Factors, he most likely could even have a faster fight than Zeb here. More ammo as well.
2 X Factors, and it looks like everything hit, so has more ammo as well. Has a lot more energy, though. You'd hope that doesn't matter. Zeb has taken a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, it has not been especially clean from Zeb, whereas Nevdi is doing very well so far.
Yeah, the phase change has happened for Zeb, though, so getting close. Now you start using all the ammo.
Nevdi red as well. Nevdi is going to have a substantially faster fight here, so this is going to be a lot closer.
Yeah, that makes a pretty big difference, especially with how the runners play this afterward. Again, the refill actually matters a lot. I wonder if we see, because I don't know if there was a refill in Meridia. I wonder if we see the runner go back to ship.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh wow! Photo finish.
Look at this.
And still we do not know if it's speed Zeb skippable for Nevdi.
Okay. Yeah, Nevdi fully skipped
very,
the drop.
very important. Going
I
back to
do
the
like
ship
this play from Nevdi.
is wise, yes.
He needs all of the ammo for Mother Brain. You can actually, even without a speed Zeb skip, this is enough to get through all the Zebs in Mother Brain 1. But
that will make for a very slow Mother Brain in that case. He would really like to have all the supers he can get.
Yeah, but he might not have the luxury of choosing.
Of course. Yeah, Zeb not going for the refill. Just going to head straight to Meridia. He did spend a little longer on the Meridia map than Nevdi did, so it's possible there is a refill here. Nevdi did not check. There's an ammo refill right before Mother Brain, and that is speed Zeb skippable.
Yeah. That's actually kind of awkward to get to, though. Well, it's not that bad. You just go through Gauntlet.
Yeah. It's not a crazy difficult speed Zeb skip, but it's also not free. But I expect Nevdi will be able to get it.
This is actually a little bit tough for Zeb because he needs health. He's actually kind of low on health. This is not over.
It is certainly not. Nevdi does have a lot more ammo than Zeb does at this point, even with the refill. I don't know if it makes up for ice in terms of DPS. I'm not great at Mother Brain math when it comes to the lower beams.
I think it might actually.
Yeah, it seems like it would. 5 supers is a lot. And ice is, you know, a lot better than charge wave, but it's not so much better.
And this health situation is still really rough for Zeb. Like, I think there's a very good chance they're entering Mother Brain around the same time, because Zeb might farm these Violas a few times just to get up to 3 tanks.
True, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be...
Yeah, he's farming it again.
A fight with a lot of shots for both of them, so surviving is actually important here. Not that I expect either of them to take a random Mother Brain death, but something you can always be worried about here.
Yes, that's basically farming to full. Nevdi's gonna be the first one, as long as he gets the speed skip.
Yeah, he needs to nail this skip.
First one into Mother Brain.
That is one miss. Okay, he's gonna break. This is probably...
Is he gonna break?
He's gonna break everything in refill.
Oh, that's tough. That might be.
Yeah.
That might have lost him the game.
Probably.
Oh, if he's not gonna refill, then it's definitely game losing because he's gonna do this fight so much.
He'll
slower.
certainly refill. Yeah.
Okay. He just broke the glass. That's fine, but.
Yeah, this is just
knew just how
yeah,
it was.
It's going to be too far now. He unfortunately had a bad setup for the skip. It looked like he missed the stutter or something. And yeah, just made the split-second decision to just break everything and refill, which is very Nevdi. I make similar decisions a lot of the time. Like, if you don't get something first try, it's better to just, you know, keep going forward instead of losing everything trying something and not getting it over and over again.
Yeah,
but unfortunately in this case, yeah, it's just he needed to nail it.
I like to see Zeb use these missiles. It's not a huge deal. I usually save exactly 7 supers for the catch-up phase. Technically, it's 7.5 supers to get past that phase, but usually she'll start it after you've already started to do some of that damage. Where the 7 supers is almost always enough to end the phase. Not that it's a huge deal, though.
For sure. Doesn't look like there's going to be an out for Nevdi here. This is...
I mean, the out is a catch-up hitting Zeb in the face for double damage.
Yeah, we wouldn't wish that. We wouldn't wish that on Zeb. Surely not.
I'm not wishing anything, but that is the out.
Yeah. This is Zeb's pick, if I recall.
It is.
So... good result for Zeb.
Zeb missing missiles, gonna use one more charge shot. He was actually counting, I didn't realize. He was calculating the damage. Nevdi's also on the catch-up. It's still very close, but... it's gonna be, what, a 20-ish second lead going into escape?
Yeah, surprisingly close, even with the refill. Nevdi's additional ammo saving quite a bit of time.
It's a pretty straightforward escape, though. I don't think either one will have any major shambles.
No, it's very straightforward, unfortunately. Or fortunately. You know, we don't want to see any disasters at the end, of course.
I'd say it's fortunate. Always nice to see the highest level of gameplay.
This was a very, very interesting race, I must say. Showcasing the differences, I suppose, with, you know, being more thorough. No, I shouldn't say thorough, but like checking more things earlier versus just going as fast as you can. And they came out to be very, very close. Just a couple additional item checks from Zeb, really going a long way.
It does have to be said, he is moving a little bit better than Zeb is in this escape. Zeb should still finish a few seconds ahead.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very close for a game one, which is really awesome to see.
Nevdi, he's probably thinking about that speed skip. Like, he'll know what that means when Zeb finishes so close.
He'll know right away, for sure, that he needed to get that trick on the first try, and nothing else could do it.
Yeah, but there's the reaction. Zeb finishes with an official time of 41:17, and Nevdi 11 seconds behind, 41:28.
Only 11 seconds after everything. One less power bomb for Nevdi. So many things. But what a race that was.
Yeah, just think, we might have 2 more of those coming up. So
I expect nothing less from these 2 runners. 2 absolute titans, equally matched. And this race really showed it.
yeah, absolutely. But we are going to step away as we get game 2 set up, so don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss what's coming up next. Welcome back, y'all. Game 2 of the best of 3 versus Nevdi and Zeb. If you missed game 1, it was an absolute banger. Extremely close. Down to 11 seconds was the difference.
That is correct. Only 11 seconds separating them after a very tight race all the way through. Neck and neck, almost the entire seed.
Yeah, we had 1 point of divergence that ended up reconverging, and then a couple of checks went in Zeb's favor, was able to take the lead and hold on. That brings us to game 2. I'm actually a little bit surprised. They opted for the Varia movement category over Grav 9+1, which I know both of them are fans of. This was Zeb's pick, if I'm not mistaken.
This mode was Nevdi's pick. Zeb won his pick of double suit in the first game, and now Nevdi has picked Varia plus movement.
Okay, that does make more sense. Again, Zeb is a huge fan of 9+1. Nevdi is as well, but doesn't want to play into Zeb's hands, as it were. Looks like we got a nice close map here.
Yeah, we are off. Norfair start, close map. Best thing you can hope for in a Norfair start. You Want that map to be close, otherwise it can get really messy with blinding forever. Fortunately, that will not be the case, it looks like.
Nevdi freezes
Very
the Ripper in a
interesting shamble for Nevdi.
forbidden tech. But we get our nice starting tank once again.
Both struggling a little bit with Bubble Mountain here. Nevdi's up.
Nevdi's up first.
Zeb is up. And what do we have?
A lot. It's always
Ridley
scary.
Dre.
Yeah, there's a few bosses. Also a few majors, but I'm not totally sure how we get to all of them.
Okay, Nevdi did not scroll all the way. We see CBM. A lot. And Rex Ship. Okay. We are just in the middle of the world. Everything going on here.
Yeah, this is a scary part of starting in one of these big areas. It's very possible that the map can be this complex, and you see Zeb, who usually spends a little bit more time on the map early on, took a few extra seconds to really try to figure out what to do in the seed. It looks like that major that you see Nevdi running past now is our first major we can get. There's a ammo on the way, so we can get there. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. And that's not
charge
major.
Interesting.
Yeah, there is a croc, but
can go to croc. Wait, looks like that is the way. You might be
croc to get to Bubble Mountain. That's crazy.
You'll probably want to just go into Rex Ship here. Just see what's up here.
Yeah,
the fade here makes that very nice.
That's this is an interesting start, though, for sure. Nevdi's not gonna go to ship.
Wow, interesting. I really think it's worth the peek here.
Yeah, I would agree. We'll see if Zeb does the same thing. Yeah, he's gonna go up Rex Ship.
Yeah, even if you don't get anything, just because like you can get pretty far away from here once we've got progress. Ooh,
never mind. Nevdi just
probably glad he didn't check that. You don't want to get sucked into failing underwater wall jumps over and over, trying to get up that. Yeah, it looks like we will be fighting Croc to get into Big Pink for what will likely be Morph.
Yeah, it might be Screw Attack, actually, because there's a... I think it was... Or no, we can't even get to that. There's the Screw Attack major, that could be Morph, but I don't know if that can work out.
Maybe. I think it might be able to. With you falling back down into Big Pink with the one way.
I don't know. I would have to look at it again.
Yeah.
But either way, that is where we're headed, both runners.
Yeah, Nevdi a decent bit ahead into this early game.
Yeah, not going up that elevator was actually not the biggest deal. A lot of it has also just been cleaner movement. But there's a full croc fight ahead at this point, pretty much.
Yeah. And Zeb's extended pause as well is a decent bit of time. Though, of course, that for Zeb, that is an investment on his part, in which he will try to not pause again for the rest of this area, or less at least. In which
yeah,
case,
definitely not going to get through everything without pausing.
Yeah.
There's still
he will try, but in an area this big with this much going on, it's very unlikely that he'll be able to do that.
Both owners going to get this free missile pack. Crocmire is in the death animation anyways, it doesn't lose any time to grab. Not that we'd be skipping this missile anyways. Yeah, we need power bombs to get that.
Yes.
Screw.
Wave. What does that mean? Interesting.
I'm not sure. Is there anything else down here we can do?
Wave, huh? I don't think so. It might just be we have to go into another zone now. Unfortunately, Nevdi doesn't know it's not Rex Ship.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he goes to the close area, which in this case, I believe is Turian up the Green Bryn elevator. But he's checking out, like, what is going on in this map.
You could fight Ridley right now, funnily enough. Not something you'll want to do by any means, but you could.
Well, who knows? Maybe you find every other boss in an area, and then you wish you fought Ridley, right? I jest, of course. Mostly. Yeah, Zeb also reacting to that wave. That is an interesting start to the seed, for sure. Chat asking if we saw a wave gate. I don't know if we did.
I don't believe so. I'm thinking it's should be something here in Torian. Potentially this. It could be this. It wants you to go to the right of this room to get something, and then wave lets you get back without morph.
Ooh,
Speed.
possible. Yeah, because that speed still doesn't open anything. So I wonder if Nevdi's actually making a bit of a mistake not going to that. Because without morph, he's not going to be able to go this way.
Yeah.
It ends up dead ending anyways.
I think it's fine. That's gonna dead end quickly either way.
Right. It could have been
okay
like
to just
the
check it.
gravity item room.
Right. And he's going to check left first. This I'm not as much of a fan of. I think just going past the wave gate. Oh, the map is this way, so I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Let's try and sneak the map real quick.
That'd be taking a couple peeks at the map he already has. Just
having
really
doubts,
making sure he's not
perhaps.
missing any. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Good
we
sack
need
for the
gravity
map,
for that to be in
but
logic.
yeah, not something
Yeah,
you
sack for the
want to
map
do.
would go all the way back to wreck ship. It would take you pretty much to the beginning.
Yeah, especially not something. Oh, interesting. I don't recall where this went.
Is Nevdi going to wreck ship? You think?
Wait. Oh no. Actually, that's quite bad. I mean, he should know that he was given wave beam for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's
This
hard because,
isn't-
like, a lot of times you really think wave beam as a filler item because usually it is, but it's looking like in this case,
Yeah.
both owners kind of making the mistake, not realizing what that wave beam opens.
It's possible we missed something. It's possible there's something else that we didn't see.
Maybe, but things just seem to be lining up so well.
I would agree. Oh, perhaps could Speed have... No, I don't think so. I was gonna say, could Speed have opened the wreck ship elevator? But I don't think there's a way. Oh, well, what room is that? I mean, you probably could make it if that's
one of the flat one towers?
chargeable. Yeah. If it's a chargeable room, you could make it, but I doubt it would be logic in Business Center.
I don't think that's in logic, even if it is possible, but we might see it happen.
What is Zeb going for up here? I don't think you can get anything here. Oh, he just wants to see what the major is. That's fair.
I actually kind of like that. I don't know if I like how much of a time investment it was, though. It's actually taking a lot of damage on the way down.
Yeah, so Nevdi getting the bad news that he should have checked this earlier. Looking very surprised.
Yeah, and again, no save. He's got to take the trek all the way back. The good news is Zeb is... Well, no, Zeb is actually going back to Turian, it looks like.
Yeah, good decision, of course. Yeah, it does not look like there's anything else you can do. It must be past the wave gate in Torian.
See if Zeb sacks for the map. He's going to check this as well. If there was a closer save, I probably would in this situation, honestly, but...
Perhaps. It is Torian, which means it's going to be a smaller area.
Yeah. Looks like Zeb is...
Now what are we doing now, Zeb? Now I'm officially confused, I think. I believe they are confused as well, is probably what is happening.
Yeah, to answer a question from chat, they would have to go past speed through double chamber blind. So it is away from the map. It is a little bit awkward, but again, they have wave beam. It doesn't look like there's anything else that they can do. So at some point,
it is blind, but they do have the wave, right?
Looks like Nevdi might be the first one to do it. But it
Looking very defeated already, Nevdi is, but... no, Zeb looking very confused.
Yeah, the other key thing that puts it in logic, well, I guess they have high jump so they can get back up, but the grapple beam also lets them get back to the wave gate.
And this is your speed lock. Yeah. And gravity. Oh, and now gravity to go back to wreck ship. What a great seed this is.
Wow.
Shaping up to be. Wow. You could go for Torian map as well, if you were so inclined.
I think now is a good time to go for T-map.
Yeah.
That actually might be what the gravity puts in logic. So I think with grapple high jump, you can
it should be fine in logic.
Yeah, we're going to see Nevdi do that first, obviously. It's not too far away, and we know that's not going to be Ridley on the way to the map, because we've already seen Ridley. It's probably, like, Batcave or another several door room.
This is one with a similar shape.
Yeah, we'll see if there's anything up this elevator.
Wow, Kraid and several majors. 3 of them.
Well, that's not in logic, right? Because you can't get back. Because it was front of Gauntlet into Bryn Reserve with a major at the front, I believe. But it's not in logic for sure. No, there might have been something to the left. The gravity does kind of imply that there's something over here.
Yeah, I do believe you could get one major past Kraid. Yes, you can see it there. And I don't believe Nevdi scrolled his map all the way to the right or left, so there could be more, but it's not likely.
Meanwhile, Zeb's still in Norfair. I wonder what he is up to at this point.
Zeb is he spent we were all watching Nevdi, and Zeb had spent a very long time looking at the map. He seems thoroughly stumped, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is kind of strange to me. Like, it seems like I don't know if I would have seen what the seed wants you to do right away, because it is kind of awkward. But at some point, there's just nothing else to do, right?
Yeah, when you're in a tough situation like this, you just have to think about what the seed gave you and what it wants. And in this case, it gave you wave for a reason. So you just need to think about what does wave unlock.
Is this going to be our morph now?
Gru.
No, but that is what is going to get us to the next step through front of Gauntlet.
That's true. It also opens that... Or no, never mind. We did need power bombs in morph for the screw attack location major.
Yeah. Also good news, if it is morph at Bryn Reserve, then he can check both of the back majors. Or not majors, but items. At least one of them is a tank. It's possible the other is an X. Could be our logical power bomb.
That would be
or
very
even
nice.
illogical power bomb, which would still be nice at this point. Like, if that's the case, you've got double shoot, charge, and a decent beam. You're not too worried about following logic once you get to that point in the seed. But that is, of course, all assuming this is morph right here, which is still not guaranteed, I think.
Not guaranteed. Yeah, we still have wreck ship, but it seems very likely at this point. I don't think there's more that could unlock. Nope, just morph.
Yeah. No shocker there. There's another super. No,
Nevdi will go for the tank.
This is
Only on
kind of
one.
awkward with high jump. I say as Nevdi immediately nails it.
And now, still lacking power bombs, but there's a lot more we can do now.
Yeah, there's another major at the top of West Ocean, which... well, can we get to that now?
I think so. I think it was just up Crab Hole. I don't
Okay,
think there
yeah, we can
was
do that
any other
comfortably.
locks. Yeah.
Looks like Zeb is just gonna accept it, sack for the map, and get the bad news that the answer was really not that difficult, unfortunately.
Yeah, really unfortunate situation. Just everybody has these seeds where you just completely overlook something.
Yeah,
It
not
will
having
happen to the best
gravity.
of us.
I don't think you can
Ah,
one tank dive without morph. Because like you can do a one tank high jump dive, but it involves using your morph, like keeping momentum through the lava and getting to the bottom quickly. Whereas without morph, I don't think you have a way to get into position in time. So Zeb is going to have to take the reset.
yeah. He did have a big moment of realization there. He now knows his mistake and will be back on track now. But a very sizable lead for Nevdi at this point.
Yeah, Nevdi actually didn't go for the other majorettes.
That is very
or
surprising.
Terrain. It's not a huge skip, because again, we've got Charge Ice Wave double suits, but...
For sure. Oh, yeah, no, that's perfectly reasonable, actually. Yeah, we have almost everything already. So,
I might have gone for it still.
yeah.
So, like, all of the majors left are pretty good, but I guess none of them are huge, so it could be considered a mistake.
I definitely would have gone for it, just because you've also got, like, 2 quick majors back in this area. So, like, for me, this is, like, just a clear get every major seed, and it's going to be fast. Unfortunately, Plasma was there, and not the one in West Ocean, which is very nice for Nevdi.
Yeah, everything coming up Nevdi now. Had a little bit of trouble figuring out what the seed wants, but once he got there, the seed is rewarding him handsomely for his decisions.
And now, at this point, he can clean up Ridley and Dragon really fast right now, and it will be just pick the right area and hope Fantoon is there. We've got...
Yeah, I guess we're just looking for Fantoon Motherbrain, right?
Yeah, just Fantoon Motherbrain. I don't recall if Wreck Ship map was water map or not. But yeah, we have, I believe, M, B, and maybe even C was off in Norfair. I think we might actually just have every area here.
Is off of Norfair.
That's crazy. Yeah. So you just have to pick the right one.
Yeah, we'll see which one Nevdi decides to go to first. I also didn't see if Wreck Ship was a water map, despite Zeb taking a couple looks at it. So that is still in play if it is not the case. It's going to be a nice fast Ridley fight, like you said. Nevdi already finished with that full beam combo.
Mm-hmm. And Dragon is very close by here, if I recall.
Yeah, it's
yeah, just to the left.
Up fish tank. I think you want to go up the right because the left is spore spawn.
That sounds right.
Which is another
that one is
pretty common connection.
Yeah, I was about to say the same as well. That is this exact layout is not too uncommon.
Gonna be a pretty fast Dragon fight.
It's very difficult to tell on Nevdi's capture, but I do believe that was not water map in Wreck Ship.
Okay, so I wonder if Nevdi's checking that. I wonder if that means that's where he's going to check first.
Yeah, he did also see Meridia is just the bottom of Big Pink, so certainly the closest area, most likely.
I mean, I think there are a few areas that were basically right off the bottom of Big Pink, so it's definitely an option as well. Got nice synchronized boss kills here. Zeb taking out Kraid. Finally gonna get... Or that screw attack, actually. There's one more step for Morph. Now we pick a door. What's behind door number 1? Is it Phantoon? Is it Mother Brain? Nobody knows.
I'm going to predict we'll see Meridia first. Would seem that he's motioning that way.
As well at the bottom of Big Pink. So it makes sense to go here first.
Yes. It's behind the wall. It still might be worth taking.
I think
with how central this is, that is a very nice save to have. Hopefully we see a close map here in that case.
Maybe. I think that was a water
Interesting. That did look like water map, yeah. Nevdi himself has said that it is also difficult for him to tell on his own capture, so it's possible he has not noticed. Oh, but Mother Brain is here. Oh man, this is really important for him to notice that that's water map in this case. He's like, get out of here.
Zeb's actually gonna ice clip out instead of using the grapple.
Interesting.
Or maybe just farming for something. Oh, he didn't get Morph yet.
Oh, well,
I wonder if he was farming health. Like, that was just the closest health farm available to him.
That's possible.
That can't be right either, because he... Or no, he was farming supers to get over. And actually, that's still kind of scary. He's really hoping for a super drop. It actually ends up that there's a super pack, so Zeb's going to get a bit bailed out.
Yeah. It is water map, so a little bit of a mistake from Nevdi, but it is okay in this situation.
Chat asking about Nevdi's camera, so I have to clarify, it's not in black and white, that's just what Nevdi looks like.
This is true.
See if Zeb can get this crew attack. Nevdi made it look so easy. It's very tricky with high jump. The jump height is so awkward. I also wonder... Okay, there's a burn portal.
B portal here.
Where Nevdi was going. This makes sense.
It seems likely we're just going to abandon Wreck Ship for last location, if it comes down to it. C might connect to B. If not, it was over there somewhere in Norfair.
Well, it is over to the left, so that's a good sign. Nevdi needs another E-tank, by the way.
Oh, wow, Nevdi, second try. Are we in the Nevdi can do gate glitches now era? It's crazy.
Everything's coming up Nevdi this seed. Going crazy.
I must say, now that Zeb has gotten everything, if Zeb can go straight to Wreck Ship and it's Phantoon there, he's straight up back in this instantly. That's pretty much the only out.
True. Is this going to be Phantoon here?
It's not.
Oh man.
No.
Does this link to Criteria? It does.
Oh, the classic. No. Criteria, top left of Aqueduct.
It happened again. How could it happen again?
To respond to chat, it's honestly not that much cope. Wreck Ship is fairly close. It's really not that crazy to just go there first.
Well, Zeb did go for this major here. Was Spazer, so Zeb's going to be a bit sad to find the plasma just on path if he decides to go that way first.
Yeah, Zeb does still need to take that kind of roundabout path in Norfair to get his power bombs. Though from there, like, Wreckship is pretty far, but it's also isolated. There's reasons to and to not do it.
Yeah,
We'll
I
just
probably
have to see
wouldn't,
what
just
he
because
decides.
the majors and the X lead you the other direction.
Right, and you need to clean up Ridley and Dragon anyway.
Mhm.
And by the time you do that, Meridia is now the closest.
I didn't see if there was a. I assume there wasn't if Nevdi didn't go for them. If there was a tank in Aqueduct. It's another pretty far left map, so.
There was. He might get on the way out. That would be okay. Or I guess you don't want to take that way out, so I guess we'll assume there's not. Oh, Nevdi on 0 supers will need to farm. Getting terrible drops.
Yeah, and then of course, as soon as he stopped farming, there's the drop. There was a super behind him. I would have grabbed that, honestly.
The classic Nevdi bailout super. If he enters a room on 0, a super will spawn.
I think the map is more down. I think Nevdi's going above it. And he had so many opportunities to get more supers. He had that super there. He had the Cax in Croc Speedway. I don't love just running around on one.
This is almost definitely Fantoon. Yeah. Might have been guaranteed. I haven't kept track of how many left maps we'd seen.
Was Norfair a left map?
I don't think so, no. It was top right of Bubble Mountain, so no.
That's right. So, yeah, it actually was a 50-50, I believe. Or no, that's not true, because we had seen left maps in Turian and Bryn.
Yes.
So this was a guaranteed Fantoon.
Yep.
So, the dream is dead, the cope is gone. Looks like Zeb is not going that way anyways. Actually went to take care of Dragon there.
That is okay though, because that means we will most likely be getting a game 3 at this point. You love to see it.
Yeah, and even though some of these late game decisions have gone really in favor of Nevdi, maybe a little bit more than they should have, it does also have to be said that Nevdi just figured out what the seed wanted to do so much faster than Zeb was able to, and he would be in a pretty substantial lead even if he was going for more far items.
Yes. Yes, they both had a little bit of confusion, but Nevdi was able to get out of it a little bit quicker.
Yeah, looks like he can take Croc Speedway back out. Always nice. I didn't see where the connector back to Norfair was, but it can't be too far, right?
I didn't catch it either. That should be the way he'll want to go. He'll probably show us.
Has to be said that Zeb is having a much cleaner Ridley fight than he was in the first seed. The slightly better beam does help, but it is a bit unfortunate that he is executing a lot better in the seed that doesn't matter as much. Nevdi does still need an E-tank, by the way.
Yeah, no tank to be found. Nothing
Yeah,
in Meridia either, all X's. He needs to go left here for this E-tank. Kind of his only option.
Yeah, it's not too far out of the way, though. Like, it could be much worse. But it's away from where he wants to go. Not even going to check what the X is.
Reserve.
Kind of lame, but that's enough. Just a power bomb. It actually looks like Zeb is going over to wreck ship. So I think at this point, even if Fantoon was at ship, Nevdi would have gotten there first, and then just had the advantage regardless.
So he is going direct ship, but he did not get the power bombs, which may spell disaster for him in wreck ship.
Yeah, I think that is a little bit of a mistake. It was a weird path to get to those power bombs, though. But like, you're 30 minutes into a seed without a power bomb. At some point, it's like you just have to go for that X, right?
Mm-hmm. We will at least get to see what wreck ship has to offer. Most likely not much, considering it's wreck ship.
Yeah, we've had a lot of big areas. Quateria was pretty big, Norfair, Bryn. Very possible this wreck ship is tiny. And the map is fairly close too, so that seems to support the idea.
Ooh, power bomb door right away for Zeb. Uh-oh.
Well, Zeb does have the save in case this doesn't work out, which it's looking like might be the case. Nevdi, meanwhile, is ending the game. Slightly more important than our adventures with Zeb, unfortunately.
Oh,
This is where all the
back-to-back Metroid room.
Might be a third one.
That should be just up here. Or not.
I think we've got to go a few more tiles to the right.
Yeah, to take the long Metroid hallway.
There it is. Of course, Zeb finding it is not Fantoon. I wonder what else is even here. Actually, more than I expected, but like in terms of tiles, but in terms of things, there is not anything.
There is an X that he can get to without power bombs, so he might be thinking.
At this point, right?
Yeah, I assume for him to have not gone for the X that was the first power bombs, he probably must have overlooked or something, so he's probably thinking this is what he has to do.
Not impossible. So Nevdi gonna... We'll see what route he takes back to Quateria. Could go through Bryn or through Norfair. I don't know which one is faster. I haven't gotten great looks at the maps here.
I would imagine through Norfair is probably...
Oh, wait, no, you can't even get through Norfair because you came in through a sandpit.
Oh,
right?
Is that
no?
Correct? I didn't see, to be honest.
There's a Bryn portal that's down a sandpit. I don't know where the Norfair portal is, but it looks like nobody knows where he's going.
Yeah, this is probably okay. Either way.
That did get a power bomb at that waterway, by the way.
Oh yes, this is definitely where you want to go. This is Aqueduct right here.
It's Aqueduct, it's gotta be Quateria.
Yeah, I don't believe he's been to the ship, so may do a little peek to see where to go. Or he already knows. Wouldn't put it past him.
Moving with so much
We'll take a
confidence.
peek. Just up, yeah, just up the elevator.
Not too bad though. Have to enter through the top right, jump down. Yeah, much faster seed than last time, despite the early shenanigans. It's still, once you solve the early game, you just had so many items that...
Yeah. And basically full information just from the starting area. Almost every item and every zone. Really interesting seed. GG to Nevdi. Finishes in first place. Official time, 34:56. Zeb will most likely forfeit.
Yeah, it hasn't forfeited on race time, but I imagine not
We'll
going
get
to
there.
continue from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other nice thing about this seed, even though, you know, Norfair was a hub, every other area was connected, none of the maps were too bad to get, it felt like. So...
Yeah, really clean route from Nevdi. Besides just a little bit of early game hiccups, played it very clean all the way through.
Yeah, the only real mistake was going back to Rex Ship. They hadn't checked it already before going the correct route, but with how much more trouble Zeb had, it definitely pushed Nevdi very far in the lead. But that is going to even up the best of 3 at 1 win apiece. The suspense is palpable, as Maniacal would say. Shout out to that guy. I don't think he plays Super Metroid anymore.
Alright, off we go. We do indeed have 9+1 E-tanks.
Yep, that's correct at least. Nevdi gonna go check what this item is.
Just a missile.
Yeah, I like the check though. Probably gonna see Zeb go pick it up now, and realistically probably gonna see Nevdi pick it up as well. Finally an early morph in this series, by the way.
Nevdi should surprisingly not just going back for the missile. I mean, that was going to be that room. That's okay. Yeah. Just a 1 miss door transition.
It was just a double check. I think it technically could be a different room if there's a really weird sandpit connection, but...
yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I don't mind the check, but like you said, it is almost always going to be the bottom of Botuni, below Botuni, believe it or not. Yeah, we're once again in Norfair, so let's see if the Norfair map is as bountiful as it was last seed, we'll say.
I saw Nevdi open the map, but I could be wrong, but I didn't see the map on his screen. So it's possible it's quite far. Unless I just missed it, that's possible as well.
I did not see the pause at all, so unfortunately I can't help you there. Chat saying it was up and right. So
that sounds about right.
That the runners are doing what they're doing then.
Oh, okay, you're gonna have to powerbomb these guys.
Yeah,
he's just leaving.
I probably would have powerbombed there. And Nevdi,
yeah.
Zeb just powerbombed something else.
Oh, Nevdi. Nevdi gets the powerbomb back, luckily.
Pretty sick. I guess it works out. They're both ultimately tied up after opting to handle that mini crate in different ways. There's the map just to the right of here, pretty much.
Yep. That adds up for why they both came this way, I suppose. And it looked like it was water map.
Yeah, no shocker there, since it is all the way to the right. Not going to be this one, though, but a
Varia. Wow.
Varia. Zeb is not happy. Zeb really wanted to play a proper 9+1, but looks like we just got another double suit.
That's crazy location for that. Just random Varia, sure.
Also beg the question of what is this Varia for? Because the Map Rando tries not to give you early suits if it doesn't have to. So if there's an early Varia suit, we've got to do something with it.
Maybe.
I wonder what something is. There's a Mother Brain and a lot of majors over there.
Yeah, Mother Brain, Brinstar way off to the left.
Do you ever reset it?
No.
It takes you back to Morph, and then it takes you towards all those majors.
No, it's okay. You got Rex Ship here. You can peek into Rex Ship.
You can't reset Varia. I'm silly.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll want to walk the Varia back. And you have no supers, so like you want to peek into Rex Ship for supers, I think.
That's reasonable. Looks like Zeb is taking the save, so that implies to me that he is going into Rex Ship. We'll see if Nevdi does the same. looks that way. Apparently, once again, Nevdi did not scroll the screen enough. Didn't actually see all of the majors that were on the left. Also, forgot that you can't do this. Can you do this with a PB bounce?
Sure you can. It's not the most difficult thing, but you have limited tries, which makes it a lot more difficult.
Right. I also don't think it's in hard logic.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, having less power bombs than Zeb could matter. There are some crabs here to farm if Nevdi so chooses. There's a major. That's nice. That gets us up the grapple room, the grapple escape room that Nevdi was trying.
Nevdi scroll.
Now he sees the majors.
Still hasn't scrolled to Brinstar though.
Alright, then Wreck Ship does hook us up with a super missile, looks like. The map is to the left. So not this way. And Zeb, not going to bother with any gate shenanigans. Going to back out and try to get to the map, most likely.
Oh, so Zeb's did find supers. I've completely missed what Zeb was doing this whole time.
He's just been Wreck Ship. Nevdi was paused for a while, it looks like.
Yeah. I wonder, did Nevdi not see Wreck Ship, maybe? It's quite interesting.
It's kind of a weird combination of circumstances where Nevdi spent longer on the map, but still kind of felt like he was a bit too hasty. Didn't really get all the information. There's a lot of stuff on the corners of the area. I'm not sure if Nevdi saw everything.
Yeah, it is not always the case, as many people have discovered, that spending more time on the map makes you less likely to overlook. It's not always true.
Right. Speaking of overlook, this is not the way of the major. Nevdi gonna want to grab that first. Looks like we do find our Wreck Ship map. Could be Fantoon.
Nope.
Pretty common Fantoon setup, but not this time.
Raygun and double major, triple major even, quadruple major even.
So many.
Oh
You can
my.
get all of them, I think.
Dragon and Meridia portal, speed locked Meridia. This is huge Wreck Ship knowledge for Zeb.
Yeah. I'd like to see Zeb reset, though. He has a save right next to those majors. Is he gonna go to the Dragon?
This would
Four
be
supers? This would be ambitious.
terrible Dragon fight, yeah. Do not want to do that.
It sucks because you're right next to Dragon and you have to go all the way back over to fight it, but it's just not really a doable fight. That charge beam is going to make things a lot better.
It's...
Well, if we find another beam at least.
Yeah, with the speed locked Meridia right there, you really want to come back with speed anyway. Not just for the speed locked Meridia, but also for Dragon, if you can.
Looks like we got a BT fight.
And there's speed.
Yeah, you're definitely not skipping that. Zeb has Springwall as well, so he can check the last major in the vanilla Springball area.
And Nevdi is looking to be in trouble. I don't really think there was many X's he could get either, besides the one he tried to get to with the powerbomb bounce.
Yeah, he can get these majors through fast pillars. Not gonna go for it yet, though. I didn't see what was up here. Is this an X?
I don't think so. It is? It is, okay. Okay, so great for Nevdi. Not completely dead, at least.
Yeah, and we'll see what these majors are. They could be big, because we've already seen a lot of the majors. Obviously,
yeah, that is
effectively starting with double suit.
That is true. Now that Zeb has speed, he's almost definitely going to get sucked into Meridia. He does have charge, though, so it's hard to see this not working out well for him.
Mm-hmm.
I must say.
I wonder if Zeb is going for that last major. It looks like he is going down this way, but it is definitely arguable that you could skip it, having speed and charge and double suit.
Yeah, I think a movement item, it's a little too important. At this point, Plasma is big value, any movement item.
Nevdi getting X-ray and grapple, pretty awesome.
Yeah, seems like one direction in this seed might be a little better than the other. Ooh, and with space jump. And just bombs and screw. Things are not coming up Nevdi this time, it seems.
Yeah, not the worst majors ever, but not as good as charge speed space jump.
There might be the worst majors ever. Can you think of a combination of 4 majors that's worse? I don't know. You
I
can throw
mean,
Spacer in there. Yeah,
I am a high jump lover, so I may be overrating that item specifically, but
that's true.
it is pretty bad. No beams. Like, even if you didn't find charge, finding like an ice or plasma or even a spacer for just room to room movement, dealing with all the enemies would have been nice. But Divergence does continue. Nevdi is heading to Bryn.
Bryn, not too far.
This could be Fantoon, perhaps.
Yeah, could be. I don't believe Nevdi peeked into Torian at all, did he? It was...
No.
Yeah, it was up the elevator by Mother Brain, if I recall.
Zeb's turn to do a kind of vanilla Dragon fight. The high jump makes it, or the lack of high jump, I should say, makes it a bit difficult, though. Nice use of the space jump, though, to get in position. Wasn't the cleanest X Factor, but it's still a solid opening.
Did hit 2 of the particles at least, I think.
I'm a little bit less impressed by the second X Factor. That one's a bit ambitious. Okay. So...
Nice. Clean 3 spark at least. Oh, we have Bryn map. Criteria Ridley found. That is not good
a
for
major,
Nevdi.
it looked like, but it's not super close.
I saw 2 off to the left at least.
Was there one in GT?
Possibly.
That sucks, if true. But Bryn is going to be required eventually, so...
Yeah, I don't recall if it was the gettable or Fight GT one, though.
Chat saying it was the Fight GT side.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not too bad with grapple, double suit, 10 supers. This isn't too bad of a GT fight. You can get into comfortable position, and there's a double X here, so if at least one of these pops a super, there you go. This is it's basically a mini boss RTA fight at this point.
Yeah, Nevdi most likely gonna be checking all the X's he can, trying to get Ridley ammo at this point.
Yeah, that is also important. Nevdi does not want to leave here with Ridley alive. But we'll see how possible that is. Zeb sees all those majors in Warfare. Feels bad leaving them all behind, but at this point, you're committed to this path.
There is a lot of X's here in this area. If Nevdi can get to 30 supers quickly here, this path could end up still being good.
I mean, he's already close with the missiles available. I think 25, 20, 10 is enough. Well, 20, 20, 10 is exactly enough, but it requires 10 double hit power bombs, which is not something you want to rely on if you have the choice.
Yeah. There was at least some X's off to the left here in Bridge, so I don't remember exactly where they were, but we might see him go for them.
Nevdi is being very thorough with the X's to no surprise.
He's going to Criteria, I imagine, which is a good play. Just may as well check this first before going way too far out of your way.
Yeah. That'd be kind of the opposite situation of Zeb, where I think he might just be playing ammo from here. Not even going to bother with too many majors unless they're right on path.
I think we actually saw a super in the beta PvP's room on the way up there.
Pretty sick. Although, we'll see if Nevdi can get to it. Got a big raid from a randomizer Brazil. Welcome in, y'all.
Yeah. Hopefully,
it's an E-Tank, that's not an X. Probably not going to fight Croc then. Not that he
No.
would anyways.
Certainly not. He will go for this super, I imagine.
Yeah, wasn't actually
Yes.
too far, just have to go through Batcave. Nevdi also going to take the time to refill the resources, so really thinking about taking that Ridley fight as soon as he gets back to Bryn. Also worth noting that the criteria map is kind of the opposite direction of the ship. So, in a world where Zeb finds everything before getting back to criteria, he might have to do like a second try escape. That could matter.
True.
Although if Mother Brain is too far away, the buffer, the escape timer should be enough for Zeb to course correct after getting the map.
And Zeb does find Phantoon here at West Station.
Alright. We've seen all 3 left maps from Zeb. Finally finds the one with Phantoon. This is a fairly comfortable Ridley fight for Nevdi with 25 supers. Gonna need a few power bombs to suck him in, but not too much.
I'm wondering, I don't know if we saw the edges of Brinstar. I don't know if Nevdi ever scrolled all the way. If there might be a Meridia connection or not, because if not, this is a pretty far away isolation for Nevdi at this point to get all the way back to Rex Ship, and then all the way to Brinstar, or to Meridia, I mean, which he will have to do for Dragon and Phantoon.
It honestly might work out better if this is a dead end for Nevdi, because Zeb is going to have to follow this dead end eventually to get to Ridley. And so, like, if Mother Brain's in Meridia, then...
Well, we already know Mother Brain. Mother Brain is in the starting area, in the middle of it all.
Right.
But there is Kraid somewhere. We have Torian outstanding, and that might be it, actually. Is it just Torian? I think so, yeah.
Have we seen Rex Ship? Yeah, we have. That's
Yes.
where Dragon was. So, yeah, I think it's just Turian.
Yeah, so at this point, it depends on what order Zeb does things in. If he does Torian before Brinstar, then he will be able to... Well,
there's a Bryn connection.
There is a Bryn connection.
It's pretty close, too. And there's a Kraid. Hold on.
Wow, and Kraid there. Yeah.
Wait, this is just crazy for Zeb, right?
Really good, yeah. He will be able to immediately clean up Ridley and finish. Yeah, that's... He won't do criteria at all. Will have to blind escape.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he could peek into criteria. It is literally just a door away from Ridley. Don't know if he'll go for the map or not, but we'll have to see. Yeah, in terms of progress, Nevdi's very far behind at this point, because the whole path to... Well... Dragon was in Rex Ship, though.
Plasma, by the way.
I didn't see either. I imagine it was here in Meridia.
Yeah, but that is
Somewhere.
a big part of Nevdi being in trouble. Zeb has reached that firepower level with the plasma beam that Nevdi's trying to get by hunting down all these X's.
We are only 18 minutes in as well, by the way. This could be a lightning fast seed for Zeb. If he can get to Bryn Map quickly, which I think should be fine.
Yeah, it's fairly close. Like, he actually went through the room that connects to Bryn, if I saw the map correctly. Okay, I think that's where Plasma was. They're in...
that would make
Mother
sense.
Brain.
And a power bomb in Aqueduct for Nevdi. Not looking great.
Yeah.
One more X here.
The PB in jail will live up to its name. does. That's not
Ouch.
good. Yeah, here's Brinstar for Zeb. I don't know if Mother Brain is speed skippable.
I think not. That is true. I would imagine not.
There are a few X's near Ridley that are supers, as we saw from Nevdi. Actually, very close to a high five there.
Almost. And it's like this path seems like it could be okay for Nevdi, but he's gonna have to do it all much slower than Zeb is able to with speed, charge plasma, nearly full beam. I think he will end up getting to West Ocean a little quicker, perhaps.
Maybe. Yeah, this still isn't slow for Nevdi. He's not that far behind, but he's looking tough.
He will get plasma. It's likely he'll just hit charge on the way out of Wreck Ship. I think it was very close, if I recall.
Maybe. Zeb needs to hurry up and scroll the map up, find that Ridley. Not that way.
Oh, there were so many X's over to the left of Bryn.
There it is.
And there's Ridley.
Yeah, there's 3 X's going up that way, so presumably Zeb just checks those in sequence. Probably gets the one at the bottom of...
Oh! Oh no! Okay, chat has made the deciding point here that we've forgotten about, is Nevdi actually can't do this. This is almost definitely over because the Wreck Ship entrance is 100% speed locked, and speed is in Wreck Ship. Nevdi literally cannot do this route. He will have to backtrack all the way out Meridia and Brinstar.
Oh my gosh.
And go to Wreck Ship the way Zeb did at the start of the game. That's very, very bad.
I don't love this reset, excuse me, from Zeb, by the way. I didn't see exactly where he was, but I don't think this reset's gonna end up being faster. He saw the Ridley. And just reset back to the crate save.
That's strange. I'm not sure.
I might have seen something we didn't, but I don't know what it could have been. Hopefully he didn't miss Ridley.
No, I can't imagine. Huh. Yeah, why indeed? Why would he do that? I mean, he's going back now.
Yeah, you have to. So
yeah,
that's good at least. But I'm not convinced by that reset. I think that was slower.
Yeah, just miscalculated how far his save was in Brinstar, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Thought he was a little bit closer than he actually was. It's not the biggest deal because he's still going back.
Oh man, I'm in distress now, because it's speed locked on the other side in Wreck Ship. So Nevdi will go to the Wreck Ship entrance and then get locked and be in extreme shambles.
It really is the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
For Nevdi. Hopefully Zeb doesn't go for PBs in jail. I don't know why he would. He has plasma wave charge.
Yeah.
We'll see how many of these X's and big pinky checks though.
Nevdi struggling here with no good movement. We'll just pass on whatever that was. I think just a missile.
Just a missile.
Yeah.
Still wanted to grab it while he was there.
Alright, sees the crate. It is not... Oh! Wow, interestingly, the crate is actually speed locked first. That's crazy. I forgot about that.
Oh no, you can't even get around. I thought you could get around through... what's that one called? Firefly. But you can't.
It just gets worse for Nevdi. The speed lock shambles just compounding here. Yeah, this is devastating. He is definitely going to be very upset about this.
You have to wonder if he makes it to speed before Zeb's able to finish. He should. And
I think he'll make it there. Yeah.
Once he sees Zeb's finish time, he'll know pretty much exactly what Zeb did. But this is tough.
Yeah, it's so tough. That wreck ship entrance, the very start of the game. And you know what the worst part is? He's probably, since he's going to have to backtrack all the way around the world, he's probably going to go into Torian to look for speed before even going back to wreck ship. Since it's more on the way, and he has no idea where speed is.
Zeb didn't go for any of those.
Here comes the shambles! Oh, one more room, and then here comes the shambles.
Yeah, hold on. We gotta watch Nevdi's reaction before I...
One more.
One more room.
Oh,
man. So
I
how does
suppose
he get back out? He's gotta backtrack out the long way.
Yeah, he's gotta go all the way he came. I guess from his perspective, it's not as disastrous because he still has Torian outstanding. He doesn't know that Dragon's in wreck ship. So with his current knowledge, it's not, you know, completely devastating. Of course, we know it's the worst possible case scenario. But he doesn't know that yet.
Yeah. So Mother Brain's not speed skippable. We'll see how Zeb handles this. There's a refill behind Mother Brain, which I think we'll see Zeb take. I may have checked that major above Mother Brain first, but that's fine.
Yeah. It's probably worth a check, but it's okay either way.
Yeah, I think that was just high jump, right?
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, either way, Zeb is handling this well. The only real question now is if he can first try escape with the blind criteria.
I think that was probably unlikely, if I remember, but maybe there's enough time that you can make it.
I don't remember exactly what a criteria looks like, but I think the ship was top left and the map was bottom right, if I'm remembering it correctly.
I think so. And I think it was far enough to where like you're most likely not going to just blind into the ship. You probably will go for the map.
Yeah, it's not a super long escape, so you're not losing a crazy amount of time for doing it a second time. It doesn't feel good though in a race.
Yeah, at this point we can say with pretty good confidence that no, Nevdi will not be getting speed before Zeb finishes, even with a failed escape, I'd say.
Yeah, is he headed to Turian?
He's still on his way back. He's not even back at Norfair yet. Yeah.
Nice.
This is such a long backtrack. He should have gone right up worst room, it looks like, but oh well at this point.
Worst room's a bit tough. You don't have a great way to kill the pirates.
You got screw and high jump.
You got screw, never mind.
Yeah.
So that was just a bit of a mistake, but at this point, like you said, not gonna be the difference maker. See what this major is.
Oh, he's checking these for speed, of course. This actually makes way more sense for him.
There's ice.
No, just leave, Nevdi. No, yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah, I think he has one more farm major here in Bren, which is also not going to be anything useful. I think it's Spacer, right?
I think it has to be Spacer, exactly.
Yeah. Oh no.
Shambles only continue.
Well done by Zeb. I did agree with his decision making at the beginning. I think going into wreck ship was a very good play to make, and it has worked out tremendously in this seed. Nevdi in absolute shambles now.
Learns the news that the last majors are either in Turian or wreck ship. Turns out they're all in wreck ship. There's actually just nothing in Turian.
Oh,
I hope entering Turian for a lot of time left, so this might be first try.
I think he'll be okay. Yeah, he can get the map and make it in time, I believe. Might be close, but should be okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he opts to just reset and do the escape again with the map.
Yeah.
Although, I think this is enough time.
Yeah, this should be plenty.
Okay, so where is the ship? It's
a little far, but probably still okay.
Yeah, it's very doable. I have to go through Zeb is gonna reset just to be safe.
That's totally fine.
Not gonna take any chances. He's confident that this route is winning, and he is right.
Yeah, skip criteria, skip Torian. It's definitely a strong route.
Looks like Nevdi is finally getting out of Bryn.
Yeah, very fast time too, almost sub 30 if you're able to first try that escape.
Yeah, we've got two 30-minute times here in these last two seeds. Some very fast seeds, and also very good performances by the runners.
Absolutely.
Nevdi in game 2, Zeb in game 3, both were really playing well.
Yeah, what a great series. Game 1, super tight race, almost couldn't be closer, and then in the next two games, they exchanged one absolutely dominating. And it just happened that in that first game, Zeb was able to just barely come out on top. In that, will win the series for Zeb.
Yeah, really great series. And I know we've just been repeating that over and over for the past few minutes, it feels like, but really had it all. I don't know what to say. One more room to get through before landing site. Zeb316 going to finish with an official time of 31:55. Will win the series 2-1 and will stay alive in the tournament.
GG's to Zeb.
Yeah. I believe you are his next opponent, right?
That is correct.
Should be another very fun race. The winner making top 4. The winner of myself and Oates will be the other top 4 opponent. But we are joined by the victorious Zeb316.
Huh?
As well as Nevdi. GG's, y'all. How y'all feeling after that one?
That one was weird.
That one, I completely got routed it, like, unbelievably. It was pretty silly. I even, like, had to, like, make multiple pretty reasonably large resets, and it didn't matter at all. Like, it was just, like...
You just go into wreck ship from the beginning, and then Speed was there?
Speed was there.
Not only
was
Speed.
there. Plasma was there. And it's just like, okay. Yep.
Yeah, every item you didn't have was there, Nevdi.
It was insane. I saw that, but I didn't have supers, so I'm like, oh, I'll go get the X's and get the other ones.
Yeah,
like,
I
could just get
immediately
stuck
found
in
supers in wreck ship. Like, it's just right there. It's like, okay.
Yeah, okay. I can't. Yeah, I don't think I can win that one. The first two were really cool. I'm supposed to win that first one, but obviously I just misplayed. Well, not misplayed. Like, I think it was just skill issue and stuff. I thought that was really exciting, that one. Yeah, I don't really. I don't think we can talk about this one. Unfortunately, I wasn't competitive, but the first two were pretty cool, and the first one was just amazing. If it was that close to end with, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, the second one I had basically known I had lost like after I realized what happened in the early game, and then I was like, okay, like just kind of mentally resetting for game 3.
Yeah, I thought I lost that one too when I backtracked to wreck ship, but obviously you had a worse like map misread. It looks like we both got caught up on the same thing, but I didn't lose as much time.
Yeah, I believe the difference in game 1 was actually, I don't remember which map it was. I think it was Criteria map, where there was a major in plasma right above the map, and Nevdi opted to just full reset and check in the next area, which I believe was Turian. And Zeb did check it, and it ended up being Ice Beam. So that...
Yeah, I kept the Ice Beam. I wasn't even sure if it was right to keep the Ice Beam. It took a long time to bring it back, but it was... it definitely helped in the end. Like, it helped against Ridley, it helped against Mother Brain, helped with Zeb Skip. So... I'm not sure if it's right to keep it, but...
It might be losing time. I had a real big problem in Turin. I went for a really far away major and 2 X's, I think. And they were both power bombs, and it was just grapple. And that's when I felt very bad. If I skip them, I'm okay. But that felt... Yeah, to get double power bomb was like really rough.
We were saying those checks made a lot more sense for you, Nevdi, because you didn't have the ice, so that was kind of just the benefit of keeping it for Zeb, because he also kept a super that was over there, I believe. So
yep, I did find a super over there.
The ice.
Oh, a super and
a lot more comfortable to go.
Yes. Well, Nevdi did have that super, but you chose to reset it as well. Back to 5 supers.
Yeah, because I saw the other X above, and I'm like, I'll probably be okay. I looked at the run back, and I'm like, it's either get the major and keep the super, or reset. It's probably, I don't know. It seems pretty even. I don't know what's right.
It came out to be really close. So something important to think as well is because you did go out of your way for more ammo, even though and also because of X factors, you actually had a much cleaner Ridley fight than Zeb did, like a large amount of time faster, even with the ice advantage. But because of all those extra checks that you had to do, whereas you might not have done them if you'd already had ice.
Yeah.
It came out to be, I mean, we all saw the result. It came out to be really close after everything. And besides that, you played the seed almost exactly the same.
Yeah, that's cool. I always like that. That's fun. I think, Zeb and I always do. I only landed 2 X factors on Ridley. Like, if I get 1 or 2 more, it's a difference. I had the worst Phantom ever. I got the X factor, and then I turned it into a 3-round slow, and I'm like, thinking after it going, all of this cost.
I just messed up the X factor on Phantom. Like, I messed up the charge shot. I didn't get the charge shot, so I just resorted to Dopplers.
I also went back to the ship for the refill, instead of checking the Meridian map for a closer one. I think I'll always do that rather than repausing, because I could just be wrong. But when I saw the refill next to Mother Brain, I felt kind of bad. And then all of those things accumulated together. Even if I just do one differently, it's a win. But I'm sure you had your own ones, but that was what was going through my mind. Because I felt that seed is like the one I think I need to win that one.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good about that one too. I think that we both probably felt pretty good about that one. There were definitely things that, like, looking back, is like, oh man, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done this better. But like, the route felt good.
Yeah, the route felt good. It was just skill issue mostly, and getting double PB'd is fine. Like, that's just is what it is. But the things I can improve are the skill issue stuff. So just better fights, and it's the difference. So
yeah, and Nevdi, the speed Zeb skip at the very end.
I really thought about resetting and doing it, and then I'm like, man, how many times is this going to take me? Do I just hit all the Zebs and then finish it? So that was a big one too. Do you reckon I win if I speed Zeb skip?
If you nail it first try, yes, you would win. I did defend the bail. I think it's a good way to play, but in this case, because it was so tight, not getting it right away, that was just the difference.
I also want to say I played a little bit cowardly at the end and farmed up to full health. I was on 3+1, I could have
Oh.
gone in on like
Yeah.
360, 370 health with like 270 in E-tanks and then 100 in my reserve. But I just farmed the atomics. No, what are they? Violas, right?
Violas, yeah. It's like
Violas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd each have our own
Violas.
stories. It was the other way around. Like if I won,
Yeah,
we'd be
yeah.
thinking of these things. So that's just
Exactly.
yeah, can't get caught up in that stuff. It's just cool to have a close race at the end of it too. Well, one race. When you finished in that one, I was like, huh? Like I was like, okay, Zeb's gonna do this speed lock too. We're gonna backtrack together. We're in this together. And I get to touring, and you're just done already. I'm like, wait, Zeb betrayed me. He didn't play my route. He went a different way.
Yeah,
But
and I like got soft locked getting the Norfair map in that one too, and I had to reset all the way back
Wasn't
down
it
to
soft
grade.
lock? We thought you could have gotten that.
Oh no, it wasn't soft lock technically, but I could have. Everything was powerbomb locked. Every single door. There was a powerbomb door at the bottom left. There was a powerbomb I needed to get to the bottom right. The right was big pink. The bottom, the one you need the powerbombs to get through. And
You just didn't have any PBs on hand. That makes
I
more
had
sense.
0 PBs. Yep.
Okay. That
It
makes
wasn't
sense.
technically a soft lock. I could have farmed the pirates, but I decided to reset instead of trying to farm them.
Looking at this
I just knew where
trend.
Ridley was then, and I was like, I can just run back to where Ridley is.
Wait, did you get to go through to Meridia after Wreck Ship?
Yep. I went from Wreck Ship into Meridia into
Oh, yeah, 'cause
Norfair.
it links there into Brinstar into Norfair, I think.
Yep. No,
Brinstar
Yeah, into
is...
Meridian to Brinstar into Norfair.
Oh yeah, and you can skip everything in Brinstar because you've got plasma speed charge. So you just kill Ridley.
Yeah.
Norfair. You didn't go Criteria, you just went Norfair.
Yep, and I had to reset once on the escape.
Oh, yep. Okay. Oh yeah, because you had the bosses done. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you knew where Mother Brain was.
And he also doesn't get
Yeah,
any of
okay.
those majors in Norfair either, because he
Oh,
just
yeah,
went
it
straight
was
into
the-
Wreck Ship at
It
the
was the
beginning.
Brinstar map, not the Norfair map that I soft locked on. It was,
Yeah.
if you scroll over to the Brinstar map, you'll see what I was looking at. Cause
The power bomb.
It was funny because there was a powerbomb door on the left, in the basement of Wreck Ship too. So it was like every single thing was powerbomb locked.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm fine. I'm happy to get top 8. It always seems that I run into you, Zeb. Always.
Mm-hmm.
I felt
then you
good
lose.
about these ones. I know, right? I felt good about coming into this. I feel like I feel good in these modes. I think, but we're getting down to the crunch of it now, and it's Nitro next, and it's Dirt Boats next. It's like really getting tight. So pretty happy with top 8, and all my friends are in a really good top 6 position. So I'm happy to lose here. I think I would have been sad to lose one round before and go to silver. So I'm happy that I got to at least this point, and I'm going to be cheering on everyone else afterwards. And I'm going to take over this interview for a second. We have Nitro and Zeb next round. Can we get a little bit of feels about that one? I'm pretty excited for that, because I know Nitro desperately does not want it to go down the same way as last one.
Yeah, I know Nitro doesn't want it to happen, but I think it's just inevitable at this point. Not sure that there's anything you can do about it.
Do you think you'll be the most
I'm not so
unluckiest
sure about
person
that.
in the world?
Yeah, if it
Yeah,
does
it-
happen, it's just because I'm unlucky, obviously.
Yeah,
There could be no other reason.
of course.
100%.
Should be a fun one. I think that it's fun to play my friends in the tournament, and
Hmm.
it would be more fun if we could meet a little later, but it's still yeah, I still like it. It's still cool. I always look forward to these matches where I get to play against you guys.
Yeah, same. It was fun last one when we got to the winners final, but we can't really
Mhm.
ask for those things again. It's still cool that we get to verse, for sure. And I'll be watching you 3 going forward. And Nitro, another one. Shout outs. Thank you so much for doing comms. I know I harassed you so much. I hope you enjoyed it, but I'm really keen to watch this one back. So, man,
It
thank
was
you
a
for
good
coming.
time.
Nice.
Great races as well. I mean, we definitely got a give it up to Nevdi and Zeb. I could not ask for 3 better races.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
at
great
least
series.
the non-competitive ones were over quickly.
Yeah, true.
They were
Well,
fun to
I
see
guess
too,
thanks as
just
well,
to
Derp. You commentate
see.
all the time, Derp, but thank you. I always always love your comments, but I wanted to say for Nitro too. Thanks. I'm hype you guys are on this one. We'll see.
Well, glad we could, like what Nitro said, glad we could see such a great series. But unfortunately, that series has come to a close. So, I guess any final thoughts from our 2 runners or from Nitro?
I just want to say, get Rex
Oh
scrub
my God.
Nevdi, and
We were having a good moment and you ruined it. No, thank you. I'll take the higher ground here. Thank you, GG Zeb. Wish you all the best. Wish you all the best too, Derp and Nitro, and everyone still in it. Thank you so much. I'm a nice guy. Goodbye.
Yep. GG's, everyone.
GG's.
All right. So, of course, huge shout outs to NN on tracking, as always, the best in the business, doing so much for this tournament. And of course, SpeedGaming as a whole for letting us put on these restreams, put on these shows for y'all. They are a lot of fun. We only hope you can enjoy them as much as we enjoy putting them on. But that will do it for today. I believe our next races will be on Sunday. We've got a full slate of a bunch of series going on at the same time, so be sure to check out everything that's going on. It'll be a busy day, but that will do it for now. We will see you next mission.